Boy, I'll tell you what, I was hitting buttons I haven't hit in a year or two. I don't know what the hell was going on back there. Hey, I'm Tommy, and you're on the lifeboat. And this is going to be a good one, people. You want to see something just for giggles, huh? What do you think? Check this out. You know what that is, don't you? Huh? Whilst. Hey, no, get out of my beverage. What are you doing? Come on, you're better than that. That, people, is a cat in a basket. I don't know if you've noticed, but the cat in the basket's been getting quite a bit of fame around here. I get more emails now from people that say to me, why don't you just give the cat a channel? I said, the cat has a channel. I work there. Trust me, the cat's got a channel. All right, let's see who we got in the house other than Squirrel Nut Zipper and myself. Mara, what's happening? There's Jason P. Kathy Ann, who has been making these squirrel videos, which are absolutely awesome. They really are. Crafty Witch, Mile High Hokey, and there's another one out. I'm going to lose half my audience saying that, but there is another one out. Brandon Calloway, what's happening? Tommy Bird, good to see you. Carry on my way. What's up, Carry On? Robin Miners, how are you? Robin Miners, a little Canadian Java. That's the little of that makes it into the U.S. too. There's a couple of those donut shops in America, but I got a kick out of that. So did Spanky. Miss Sunrise Dawn, good to see you. I live for now. Glad you're here. Dan C, what's up? Layla, DS Kitty. I am having a pretty decent day. Kim is Blue, what's happening? DNV 1983. Yeah, the basket cam is back, Tommy Bird. Shannon Smith, how are you? Tamber June, good to see you. This kind of proves, though, that she doesn't really show up. Squirrel Nut usually doesn't show up until it's showtime. You know what I mean? Like, she understands that in the last 10 minutes, she's got to get there in time for me to say, and this is a cat in a basket. And these videos will give you an idea of just how many times I've said that exact same phrase. Hold on a sec. Let's see here. There she is. She just climbed back in the basket. The consummate professional that she is. Kristen Melinda, good to see you. Glad you're here. All I got to do is start mentioning that the kitties in the other part of the country are more professional. She can't handle that. Drives her nuts. The news nut, good to see you. The newest nut, good to see you. Roberta, what's happening? Ladybug Melissa. Wow, 2 nights in a row that you've made alive. Holy crap, you're starting to work on a habit. Marmelo, good to see you. Don Gloves, love you, Don Gloves. Let's see, what's happening, Heather? Dominic Doring, is that Doring? Brandon. Almost a month sober for Brandon Calloway. That's the spirit, my man. Proud of you. I really am proud of you. There goes that awful kitty. I'm telling you, she thinks she runs the place. All right, it'll warm this in this campus. And I got a fresh shave, so we may as well go with the dome out. Karen Pooley, glad you're here. Alva. Rana. Cat loves Catskills. Well, how about that? Julie, glad you're here. Hey, Ben. Hell of an interview, Ben. People, if you didn't see our man, what was I just saying? Sorry, people, I saw something that just absolutely. You ever get Bacon Bits? Ben Turner had on the gentleman from the behavior panel, had Scott on, and had a really great interview. Got a chance to see that cat in a way that I never have before. Found it fascinating. It was a really good interview. Anytime you see an interview and it brings out a part of someone that you don't normally see in every other interview, the cat with the microphone did something right. And honestly, I kind of feel like you're a hard habit to break. Great song. Wilford, how are you? Mara, what's up? Just Pauline. This is my year, says Just Pauline. And I believe you. I do believe you. I really do. I do. Bruce D. Glad you're here. Hey, Ree. Hello, Ree. Allison Metcalf Palumbo. Scooby Lee. There's Casey. I think we can almost take this thing out to sea. Lumen, Izzy E. Yeah, the gang is all here. And Kirsten and Melinda, you notice, got here on time. I didn't even have to I don't even have to come down on Kristen Melinda and be nasty because she's right here on time. Love, Mama Bear. Glad you're here. Crafty Witch. Good to see you. Teresa, what's happening? People, this is a very interesting subject. It's one we've done a few times in the past, but this is a wicked interesting subject. Nenny C, good to see you. Frank Humphreys, what's happening? This is another one of those subjects. Another one of those addictions. Need ones for your hubby, please? They admitted him to the hospital today with cellulitis. Cellulitis is no joke. Downs Mom, I'm glad that you're here. Lynn Sanity, good to see you. We had some thoughts and prayers for Miss Sunrise Dawn's husband. That's scary. Cellulitis is no joke. Hello, Becky Lynn. I'm so glad you're here. And that is the lilac lime. Your 3-year-old niece even knows that she loves sugar, lilac lime. Yeah, guaranteed. Guaranteed. And you know what? RSM, good to see you. Incarnasol, I'm glad you're here. Here's the other thing. Kim Roy, you're going to end up finding out that 3-year-old within a couple of years is going to know a whole host of really cool looking little characters that are attached to sugar in one way or another, right? Cool candies and cookies and cereals and whatever, right? That is absolutely marketed perfectly to children, right? I was definitely one of those generations that was, one of the early generations that were marketed sugar to. I still love sugar, still have a problem with it. Joanne Rice, glad you're here. But the thing is, when you start to get a handle on just how much sugar we're talking about in things, have you ever taken the time to do this? Because I've done this on the boat before, right? I want to talk about harm reduction. Melissa Richardson. I am a hobby baker, and I'll admit I'm fully addicted to sugar. Okay. A lot of people are. It's the second one in the world. LV. Yo, Tommy, it's LV. I was told yesterday when you were talking to my friend that you were a good guy. You know, I give it my best, LV. I really do. I give it a college try. For the vast majority of my life, I wasn't such a great guy, but I'm trying pretty damn hard now. And that's primarily, hello, Tina. That's primarily based on the fact that it sucked. It really sucked being addicted to dope. And after I was able to get out of that situation, the realization that all of those people are still back there is kind of a bummer. Honestly, it's kind of what landed me here. Anyway, this is the second, according to the World Health Organization, this is the second largest addiction on earth. Sugar is just part of my food addiction, says Barbara C. Yeah, it is. It is. But here's something that you got to realize, that even if you go, well, I'm addicted to a lot of other foods, sugar can be driving all of the other ones, right? Sugar can get you on hello, passenger shaming. Sugar can get you on a roller coaster, right? That is going to get you power eating at different times of the day. You may not be eating sugar, but it's the sugar that started this friggin' roller coaster that gets you going. And what we want to start concentrating on, because let's be really honest, yeah, LV, send me an email to tommyscoville@gmail.com. My name, tommyscoville@gmail.com. Appreciate you. Let's see. Hello, Alson. I'm a lurker from the Aaron era. Missing what the ones mean. Well, I guess you could answer that for yourself, right? For me, a one means prayer, but there are people here that don't pray. So for them, it might mean just thinking about someone in a positive way. It might mean whatever it is that you believe, because we all kind of have beliefs in one way or another. And if we don't, then we just kind of agree to go, hey, I appreciate that. You can think of it as the tummy on a Care Bear firing out love or anything else. You follow me? It's us just trying to give a virtual hug through a computer, because a lot of times people need that, right? And we're pulling for people very often who are finding themselves in rough situations. I gave up sugar and artificial sweeteners, fruit, any sweetener, and by day 31 thought I was having a heart attack. Well, I would never, ever do that. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Mach, what's happening? Anita's mom, good to see you. Yeah, this is kind of what I'm getting at. Dan C, good to see you. Yeah, that's a scary thing. I don't want anyone cutting out all of that's not, let's start with a little bit more calm. Because truthfully, this is what causes the yo-yo effect of everybody on earth. Feel me? You start getting into this diet stuff and you go, you know what? I'm giving up everything. I'm not going to eat cake. I'm not going to eat carbohydrates. I'm not going to have any fun. I'm not going to talk to people, right? It just becomes this all-encompassing, damn it, I'm going to lose weight. So you starve yourself, right? Or you take one of these ridiculous diets where you're drinking 40 ounces of lemon with maple syrup in it, or you've all seen some of these ridiculous fad kind of diets, and you'll lose. You might end up losing 25 or 35 pounds. Then what? Then you got to put down that concoction of pepper, cayenne pepper and sugar that you've been pounding to try to lose weight. It's a really, really frightening cycle, and a lot of people ride it their entire life. So how about a better idea? How about if we just, over a period of time, hey, Wharton Thistle, I'm glad you're here. How about over a period of time, we just start the harm reduction process the same way as we do harm reduction for anything else, right? Sugary beverages. What if you just knocked out sugary beverages from your life? Or, by the way, fake sugary beverages. If you could replace that crap with something like water with maybe a little lemon juice in there, a little lime juice, right? Anything like that. Some people put a slice of cucumber. Sound boring? It's supposed to. But over a period of time, you're drinking something that has zero, right, chance of making you anything. Follow me? It's not going to make you sick. It's not going to make you anything. But let's get an idea here. You know what this is? This is a 12-ounce can of Dr. Pepper. 12 ounces, right? This would be the one that comes out of a soda machine, right? How much sugar do you reckon is in a can, a 12-ounce can of, say, Coca-Cola, or basically any of them, but the one I looked up happened to be Coca-Cola, right? Dan C says, my girlfriend got me into flavored seltzer a few years ago, and it's been a major difference. Though I am guilty of having soda a lot of times, I really did give up soda. I really did. Now, I had the added benefit of going to the pokey. In prison, I could have still been drinking stuff like Coke Zero and all of that, but I am of the sugar generation, and when I drink that stuff, it tastes like I can see the dude in the lab coat making it, right? And I also know that guaranteed, right? Guaranteed, it's doing the same thing in your body. You get a dopamine hit off of fake sugar the same way you get a dopamine hit off of sugar. Science may argue you get a bigger one because the stuff is, you say, what? It's not sugar. It doesn't have to be, right? It doesn't have to be. Hello, Renee Rainbow, because it's basically mimicking the same thing in your dome. Your brain's going, holy crap, that was sweet. What the hell was that? Dopamine. That's great. We need more. That's fantastic. We need more. This is why you hear of people who are doing 40, they're drinking 40 of these puppies in a day. And you're like, how's that possible? Even a 12 pack, you're drinking a 12 pack of diet soda a day. But what if we're on the real stuff? What if we're on sugar? Hey, Pam from Canada, California. What if you happen to be doing the sugary beverage? How about 39 grams? Did you catch that? I know a lot of us here have had drug problems in the past, and you're going 39 grams. What is that, like an ounce and a half? Yeah, pretty damn close. Hello, Shelly Kelly. It's pretty damn close to a zip and a half. A zip and a half of sugar? Okay, check this out. Right? I went pink this time, Tommy Bird. That's right, 10 teaspoons. Ben Turner already did the math. 10 teaspoons, and he's absolutely right. That, people. See, it's pink this time because I don't want people with the big red button bumming out on me. That right there, folks, is what 39 grams of sugar looks like. Listen to this, right? That is a buttload of sugar. I do not think you can imagine just what this feels like in your hands, right? I've been weighing these things out. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. When you get it in your hands, you're like, this can't be possible. There's no way this is the real number. 10 teaspoons? I want you to think about your cup of coffee in the morning, right? You drink coffee in the morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. People in the room staring at you. I was working today, right? Just absolutely ridiculous. 10 teaspoons. Take you 2 weeks to stir it, right? Holy hell, man. Holy hell. Yeah. I use Coke as a cleaner. Yeah, Mara. Coca-Cola will absolutely clean things like nothing you've ever seen. I used to clean beryllium copper golf clubs. And the guys, the fellas used to charge a lot of money to do it by hand. And one day I saw a guy buy 2 things of 2-liter Coke, cut the tops off of them and stick the clubs in them. He said, don't tell anybody, man. Clean them is a great hustle. I was like, you got to be kidding. Catching up on double speed after checking on my tiny sugar monster. Oh no, he's already a tiny sugar monster. This is frightening, is it not? 39 grams of sugar? What if you're drinking 4 of these a day? For real. What if you're drinking 4 of these a day? You know what you're drinking? A little more than 1/4 pound of sugar a day. You realize there are people that drink a 6-pack of these. A 6-pack. This is frightening. It's frightening. And then you go, I wonder how it is that these people are becoming addicted to this stuff. We are living in the first time on planet Earth where you have a better chance of dying from being overweight than you do starving. That's a brand new thing in history. Right? We're new to this. This is not something anybody has ever experienced on Earth. Kind of ridiculous, right? How about if you just cut that out of your life? You don't have to get rowdy and start counting calories and start doing all of these things. What if you just got rid of that? Think that might change your life? Hello, Jimena. I'm telling you right now, the amount of weight you would lose. People, do you see this? Right? That's every damn can. What do you think that does? Where do you think that goes? I promise you. Let's start with the harm reduction concept. If you say, Tommy, I don't think you have any idea how much I live on Diet Coke. If it wasn't for Diet Coke and caffeine, there's no way I would get through a day. That's something I simply can't do. Can you back off maybe 2 or 3 cans a day? Right? For real. Can you replace a couple of cans a day with water? A little harm reduction. And if that's something that's becoming a lifestyle and you're spending more time sitting than you are doing other stuff, then commit to getting out of a seat for 30 minutes a day. You don't have to go outside and get all crazy, although I would really recommend that because all of your senses get involved and you get excited and you can actually build a habit that way a lot easier. Jin, good to see you. You feel me? But if you go, well, I live in a neighborhood, Tommy, there's no way I can pull this off. Man, I lost all the weight that I did in a room that was about 13 feet long and about 6 feet wide. You don't need a whole lot of room. Barbara C., what you need is the determination to start knocking a couple of things off, right? Start journaling and saying, I'm going to remove this. This is getting put out of my life. Hold on. You know what, LV? I would love to do that. Can you do me a favor? Send me a link because I wouldn't even know. Send me a link and send it to the email address I gave you, tommyscoville@gmail.com. That would make it a lot easier. Get up, walk. If you can start walking for 20 minutes a day, 25 minutes a day, it's going to change your life. Dramatically going to change your life. If you start that, your road to health has begun. Right? We're not counting calories. We don't have to get that into it. All right, I'm going to call Jenny Craig, and then I'm going to buy P90X, right? And they got this workout outfit I'm going to buy, and they man, knock off one small thing at a time. Do you know why that is so freaking important? Because if you don't, you're going to fail, and failure makes you feel like a failure, and it starts to become your default setting in your brain, right? Well, we're damn used to that. Right. So it gets really easy to go, I'm on day 2 of this. I'm just going to go to McDonald's and crush 3 hamburgers. Screw this. This is stupid. And we're used to it. We've done it every single time. But if you said, okay, today I'm going to replace 3 of the beverages I drink today with water instead, right? At the end of the day, you're going to go, you know what? I succeeded. I set out a goal and I succeeded. Dan C, I did P90X in FCI Phoenix, and I did it outside. It is an incredible program. The Ab Ripper workout, the Ab Ripper workout is one of the most difficult things to do. It was awful. I hated that. And the first day, I missed, I think, 2 classes. The guy okey doked me. I'm walking across the yard, right? And he comes walking up. Mayor's girl, how are you? He comes walking up to me and he goes, hey, Rocco, I got a question. And I go, what's up? He goes, man, I didn't see you at P90X. I know you were on the list. And I was like, I was on the list for P90X? He's like, yeah, the workout thing. You know what I'm talking about from TV? I'm like, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember getting on any list. He's like, well, I could probably still get you in if you come up tomorrow. And I'm like, well, I'm kind of behind, right? He's like, no, you just missed 2 of them so far. And he goes, and tomorrow's yoga, right? And I'm like, yoga, right? I'm damn good at yoga. I said, all right, man, I'll see you tomorrow. As my man Dan C could tell you, their yoga is a little different than every other yoga. Pinch Becky, good to see you. Or is that Pinchy Becky? 0 F's given. Okay, then. All right. Fresh out of them, are you? The field in which they are grown, he is barren. Sugar cravings are terrible, says Jimena. Sugar cravings are the worst, pardon me. But it is possible. I started to do this, and now I don't eat sugar, and I've lost a lot of weight. I found good replacements for anxiety. You know something? Hey, Mary, thank you. Spanky and I opened the package today. I really appreciate you, Mary. Very, very kind. Thank you always. Yes, the yoga routine not only bends you in bad ways, but there's no break. See, normally when you do yoga, between doing downward dog and between doing warrior 1, the person in the front of the room is going to talk to you a little bit. Tony Horton goes 17 minutes of that. We timed it without saying a damn word. And 17 minutes of holding poses in yoga, man, you're getting real worked. You're really wanting a break and something to drink. It's pretty nasty. But yeah, I enjoyed that. So, Jimena, absolutely right. Sugar cravings are really, really nasty. Yeah. So where is Tommy? Is there a different Tommy I don't know about? If you're talking about Tommy Bird, he's here. If you're talking about Tommy Scoville, that would be me. The sugar cravings are tough, right? They absolutely are. This is real. And that's legit. Like every other craving on planet Earth, 8 minutes. That's all it's going to take. If you can redirect the mind for 8 minutes, you will beat that craving. Does it mean it will never come back? No. But when it comes back, we do that rinse and repeat stuff. Hello, Zoe. Good to see you. We just do the rinse and repeat thing. You get it? We don't learn 500 techniques. I mean, maybe some people do. I don't know. You know, it's sad how many times when I talk to people about this, that every one of them, you know, I was talking to someone the other day that said, over the course of my weight loss journey, I have lost 800 pounds. And I said, I'm looking at the frame of this person. I said, how is that possible? Well, they lost it because they would gain back, right, 75 and then lose 100, and they would gain back 100 and then they would lose it again. Good Lord. That roller coaster is so hard on the human psyche. If we can start to apply harm reduction model to weight loss and to sugar, small goals, right? We're not looking to blow a hole in the side of this thing, right? How do you eat an elephant? Right? Big animal. How would you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. If we can start with baby steps and harm reduction, you can feel good at the end of the day. It is about redirecting your thoughts. Mimi, it absolutely is. And the reason is it's pretty damn simple in all actuality, right? There's a in physics, there's some law of physics that says two things cannot occupy the same space at the same time, right? If I wanted to put another can there, I would have to remove this one, right? Because this space right here, same thing in your brain, plain and simple. Same thing in your brain. Your brain's not running two thoughts at the same time. There are people who think that you are, but you're not, I promise. It's not possible. Comment. For me, sugars are something I do harm in with. All or nothing with my sugar consumption keeps me highly addicted. Gotcha. Switching it up by introducing water, even a small amount, is kinder. You know what? These can be the smallest baby steps on planet Earth. You understand? Who cares? Who cares how long this takes? I mean, if we're moving forward, if harm reduction is happening, if on a daily basis we are moving toward our goal, then every day you will feel a little bit better about who you are. When the time comes to journal, right, we start to get the, oh my God, I can do this. And the best part is you're not going to feel like you've been put on the friggin' rack. You're not going to feel like you've been in a torture chamber, right? Gritting your teeth and white knuckling it, right? Because they've got you eating 1,300 calories, you know, and half of them are rice cakes. Good God, man. The simple truth of the matter is that we've been trying to teach people this complete abstinence model for an eternity. And if somebody needs to lose weight, right, then we go, okay, the person's you need to lose a lot of weight. You're 100 pounds overweight, right? That becomes the target instantly. You're 100 pounds overweight. We got to get you down 100 pounds. Holy hell! How about if we just get you moving? How about if we get you so that moving is an easier thing and it's something that you're actually enjoying again? How about if connection becomes part of your life, right? The idea of thinking, I got to knock 100 pounds off. By the way, I have lost 100 pounds in my life. And I don't mean over the course of a bunch of time. I was 100 pounds heavier than what I weigh now. And it's not something that I did overnight at all. It wasn't. I didn't do it on any kind of a fad, anything. I really didn't. I changed my lifestyle. You know, for real. I just changed my lifestyle. April Price says sugar addicted. You know what? Who isn't? So far, I've lost 13 kilos because I am working out. Still 10 to go, but getting there, getting to my goal. I've turned my life around these last months. I love that. I love that, Jimena. Proud of you. For real. I've kicked all sugar and flour for months. And trust me, your body gets used to it and you start to crave real whole foods very quickly. I love your connection theory, Tommy. Well, thank you. And you know something? This is so important. It really is. It's amazing that we can go to the doctor, we can go to the psychiatrist, we can go to the psychologist, we can go to the therapist, we can go to the chiropractor, right? And we go in and we tell them what's wrong with us. And the first question ought to be, how are you eating? Honest to God, how logical is that? What are you eating? Are you putting crap into your body and you're shocked because you don't feel good, right? Are you suffering from inflammation because you're eating yourself to death with the poisons that you're putting into your body? You know something? There's nothing more important than what you put into your body. Think about it. For real. What could be more important? You don't have to fix it overnight. You don't have to fix it ever, but you have to start moving in that general direction. And the important thing is, it's not even because we'd like to get you into a size 4. Who cares? I mean, I really don't. I think it would be great if you start to feel healthier. That's a beautiful thing. If it's going to make you live longer, that is a beautiful thing. Yeah. Those are great. But that's not at all what I'm talking about. You know, my girl cracks jokes, self-deprecating stuff all the time about her weight. And she does it when she's not live on the air. That's not a show. This is something that she does all the time. And if I could snap my fingers to have her at whatever size she wishes, that like whatever she thinks thin is or whatever, I would do it. But I would do it because I would love to see what she looked like without any of that on her mind. And I feel like that with so many people. There are so many people I talk to who are so preoccupied with the number that's on that scale, right? Really becomes a thing. I think it's really important that we get healthier rather. But I don't think that the number on the scale is as important as everybody makes it out to be. Yeah. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? I want everybody's self-esteem to be a little bit better, but you know something? You're not going to find that on a scale. You're not. You could lose all of that weight and you're still going to have the same self-esteem problems. You go, how's that possible? Well, trust me, I did it. Right. And I've watched a lot of other people do it. You got to figure out what's up with that onion, right? Are you journaling? If your head went this way, you're spinning your wheels on everything, right? You're spinning your wheels on everything. If you're not journaling, sorry. But if you're journaling, right, and you're working towards this, I think this is something that, believe it or not, people, this is something that is a lot easier than you will think. For real. It is considerably easier than you're going to imagine. Mary Gonzalez says, cutting sugar. Sorry, I got to blow this up. I'm really getting blind. Just cutting sugar a little gives you a ton of self-respect. And you know what? That's literally what I'm talking about. It's literally what I'm talking about. What happens is we start to feel bad about ourselves. We get a bad body image, right? And that bad body image starts to roll down the hill like a friggin' snowman. And it gets to a point where it engulfs everything that it gets close to, including your loved ones, right? Your recreation or lack of recreation. Everything in your life starts to get touched by this. And sadly, more often than not, it really lives inside the head. We are so preoccupied with body image on this planet. Size, shape, weight. It's terrifying. It really is. It's terrifying. And you know what's funny? If you look at, in my lifetime, I'm 54 years old, what has been considered beauty, you know, from the male standpoint, has changed 180 degrees during the course of my lifetime. It really has. I'm not picking on anybody, but can you imagine if the body style of Kim Kardashian, that body style in the 80s, people would have gone, what in the name of God? Because in all honesty, in the 80s, every single model and every single girl you saw, I'm not picking on them, but they all had anorexia. And that really was a thing, you know, in sadly, it really was a thing. Christine Wilson, there's sugar in salt. Blows my mind when I check the ingredients label and it was listed. They add sugar to damn near everything, right? By the way, they also add salt to damn near everything. Do you know that salt is in Diet Coke? It really is. There is salt in Diet Coke. I mean, not enough to get rowdy about or bum out about, just a silly amount. CJ Harris, good to see you. Hope between the dreams. Glad you're here. It's taken a while, but my boyfriend finally is the first one to ever get through to me how beautiful I am inside and out. Wow. It's so amazing having a man who appreciates my curves. Well, God bless him and you, right? For real. And how good does that feel, right? How good does that feel? and you don't have to reinvent yourself, right? You just got to find a guy that's not a caveman. And you got to find someone that you can communicate with. The truth of the matter is, if you communicate with most people, Tony Horton, that's right, Lori. If you communicate with most guys, you're going to find more guys think curves are attractive than you think. I promise. It's like when Quib goes, guys think, and I go, tick, 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 tick. I don't even let her finish those sentences anymore because they're always so damn silly. They really are. As a trained master food preserver, that's a hell of a start. As a trained master food preserver, I can tell you that the main reason sugar is used in packaged food is because it is the best and longest lasting preserver we have. Well, that may be the case, right? That may be the case. But I think very often the reason that they're adding it to things, because they're adding it to things that I don't think they care if it makes it to next Saturday, right? I think that we have found a model that people like sugar. If people absolutely like sugar, they love it. And they will add it to virtually everything because it makes people come back. Sadly, it really does. And I knew a girl once, or maybe I read about her in a book, but this is what she did. This girl was as smart as anyone you've ever met. At one point was a genetic engineer, but then found her way to a company where she tried to engineer the food that was made to make it so that you needed to run back and eat more of it as fast as possible. And I'm not BSing you. That really was the assignment. What can we put in here that's going to literally bring the crash fast enough to bring them back to buy more product? If that doesn't sound disgusting, Mara says, Twinkies don't last long in this house. Twinkies went away. You guys do know that, right? Twinkies went out of business and somebody bought them on like the last day. There were no Twinkies, right? The business was out of business for like 2 or 3 days and then somebody saved them. The simplest reason is that sugar makes you eat more. That's right. People eat more, you sell more, you make more money. It's all about the money for food companies. It really is. Well, it's all about the money for any companies. Sadly, that really is the case. And here's the thing. You can argue that is their job. I mean, whether you like the system or not, the business's job is to, they should not be able to manipulate things with human beings, right? The FDA should really be doing something about that. But it is their job to sell as much stuff as possible. And they're doing it within the confines of what the government allows, right? The problem is that this shouldn't be allowed. And by the way, don't send me hate mail because both sides of the aisle suck. I'm not saying, the Republicans sucked at this, but the Democrats really had it down. I don't think anybody's ever been any good at this. I really don't. Thoughts on Ozempic? Well, I'm not a doctor, right? And Ozempic doesn't get you high. So to be really honest with you, normally the drugs that I comment on with any kind of authority, I comment on from the street drug user's point of view. So while I'm familiar with Ozempic and what it does, I don't know that I could, I'm probably not the person to ask. Although I heard somebody call it a prescription tapeworm, which I think was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. Because to some extent, that almost is what's going on, right? It really is, except it's it's kind of redirecting how food goes. And a lot of people lose a lot of weight on it. A relative of mine, a woman lost, a absolute mountain of weight. Really. Last time I saw her, she hadn't looked like that in probably 30 years. And it was, she's a doctor. She's very, very happy. And she is singing the praises of Ozempic. I personally don't know. I know that it comes in 2 varieties. One is with a pen and one is not with a pen. One is that you take orally. My understanding is that there's a really big difference between the 2 as well. But there are people who will never use a needle in their life no matter what, right? Quibs is that person. If they can't give it to her in a pill, she's not taking it. Well, what's going to happen with the lab-grown meat and genetic engineered modified food we will soon be living on? Well, you know something? I don't know about the lab-grown meat. I'll be honest with you. I tried lab-grown meat years ago. We had an opportunity because of what we were doing with our charity, and we were providing food that was a meat substitute. So we ended up at this. We ended up with the ability to taste this. At the time, it cost so much money to make the stuff that like they really needed to perfect it because they would have been having to sell steak for $300 or $400, right? And no one's going to pay for that. The novelty would wear off very quickly. But if they ever get that, I don't know what to think about that. I really don't. I mean, they're literally growing beef. I mean, that's kind of what we're to understand, right? They're growing beef in a lab. I struggle with that. I really do. I struggle with that. Why are there candy and soda machines in schools and hospitals? Insanity. You know what? I never had one in my school, but I'm old. I'm really old. Sorry. Deborah Zito says, I'm late. If someone hasn't already mentioned it, Fed Up is an eye-opening documentary about exactly this. You are late. We've heard that about 75 times already. I'm kidding. You're the first person to say that. Or the first time I've read it. Just busting your chops, Debbie. Glad you're here. I know you're a little late. Sunrise down. Tell him you don't. There you go, Kim Roy. Solid advice. Miss Dragon. Forest fire about 15 miles away as the crow flies. Can we get some thoughts and prayers for my sister, Miss Dragon family, and the entire town? It's really frightening stuff, forest fires. You know, I lived in that kind of the part of the country where they're really a thing. And it's pretty crazy when they come. It's really something else. Frozen blueberries are awesome. They really are. Kim Roy says, dang, Cokes, Twinkies, what's left to live for? Long walks on the beach. You know, that kind of thing. Foot massages. You know. No, I'm not going to take your peanut M&Ms. Shh, don't bring up peanut M&Ms. What's the matter with you, man? If Quibble's listening to this, she's going to show up and she's going to start yelling at me. And I promise you, man, like I would leave one M&M. 300 fires out of control just north of you in BC. Good God. Prayers for that entire part of the country. For real, I find that scary. Zoe says, Ozempic causes mortality stalling, potentially leading eventually to... I'm not sure if I know what that is, Zoe. I wish I did, but I do not know what that is. If someone wants to help me with that, they can, but I don't know what SIBO. Is this an acronym I should know? Because I'm terrible with acronyms. Christine Wilson, good to see you. Carol Stewart. 4 a.m. in Scotland. You know what? We love you. Your family here, Carol. Of course, we're going to help you. Sorry. Start busting out the Green Acres song here shortly. It won't be long now.
I couldn't find Busting Out the Green Acres in your Apple Music library.
Why, thank you very much. Wow. I don't remember saying the S woman's name. What the hell is she talking to me about? All right. Bacon Bits Ben Turner. Would you be talking about Soylent Green? Stay safe, Miss Dragon, please. Do you think Soylent Green? That might be what you're talking about. Boop, boop, boom. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Pop-Tarts are pretty fantastic. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a ton of sugar in Pop-Tarts. There's a ton of sugar in everything. In everything. They add sugar to things that already have sugar in it. You do not have to radically change every single thing about your diet, right? If you're listening to anything that I'm saying today, right? We're talking about harm reduction. What I would like to see for everybody. Teresa says, Tommy, I can almost hear Reese say, you left just one M like a psychopath. Yeah, that really sounds exactly like what she would say. She did say only a psychopath would leave one M. I remember her saying that. Just crazy. I'm not a psychopath, right? At least not that she knows. Do, 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 do. Hey, how are you? Welcome to the party. Not sure that I've ever said hello to you. If I have, I'm sorry. Small intestine bacteria overgrowth. Okay. Thank you. I'm not gonna lie to you. That sounds absolutely awful. It really does. Anna says day 2 declined the painkillers. Want to take a long walk on a short pier if I could walk. Hang in there, hun. Here's the thing: if this is day 2, probably tomorrow will be worse. Right? Day 2 and 3 usually really suck. Thoughts and prayers for you, Anna. Frozen grapes. You know what? I've never really been a frozen grape person. I've never really been a frozen grape person. Blueberries, though. There is a brand of protein shake called Soylent. Wow, it's a really unusual name. I guess rolling the dice, right? Seeing if maybe people will be like, "Hey, cool." So stuff that they from the movie made out of dead people. Kind of a weird marketing pitch, but who knows? I've seen crazier stuff happen. Is that right? It's a Norwegian female name, says Carry On. Well, I would imagine that it's got to be a royal pain in the backside walking around Norway, right? Every time people talking to somebody, cell phones everywhere going nuts, right? Like if they made the little device, named Lisa or something like that over here. Dan C says, you know what else is a good alternative to sugar? Fruit smoothies, at least one a day for a snack. Yeah, I'll tell you something else too. This is my theory, people, and I'll tell you what, it is my theory. But I found when I could supplement my body with a ton of protein, right? With way more protein than I would normally get in any of the foods that I'm eating, and start off with that early in the morning. I find myself not getting hungry throughout the day. I don't find myself on that roller coaster at all. Right? The old joke, you can leave a $5 bill in the room with me, you'll get every penny. Leave a bag of M&Ms, can't guarantee anything. And, I might leave 1M, right? I might leave 1M. I might take your $5 bill and head on down to Dollar General, buy another bag to bring back and replace it, and then eat that and only leave 1M. I have a problem with peanut M&Ms, but I didn't eat all of them. She's making that up. Dale Cox, I love it. This is a pretty great group of people, for real. Kristen Melinda, I'm exactly with you. I try to not give her any credit either. Now, people, if you're going to start the process of harm reduction, how would you reckon you would go about it? For real. How do you do it? What do you target? Myers Girl says, I'm a hardcore label reader too, but getting older and had to install a magnifying glass on my phone to read them at the store. Yeah, I'm with you. I can't read anything anymore. I'm blowing everything up right now so I can see you guys. I think there's not going to be a live stream tonight, says Carry On. However, we did have a live boat gathering in this chat. People, are you not seeing me? Huh? Am I still Carry On? I'm live, I promise. Can you not see me? Wow. Ben Turner, give it a try. I have a pretty good time calling her names. Although if you call her the wrong one, she can really mess you up. The Johnny Scoville did it, and she stopped. Yeah, Tommy who? Johnny Scoville said some mean stuff to her, and she didn't talk to him or do anything for him for a really long time. Mara says, honestly, we should just eat for fuel, but we eat for pleasure now. Well, you know why we do? Because they put just a little bit of fuel in everything. They don't put enough friggin' fuel in anything that you could actually sit down and eat and go, I'm satiated. I have everything I want. I can now go about my day. I'm not going to be absolutely jonesing for food in 25 or 35 minutes because of what I just ate. Or an hour from now, I'm going to have this epic crash where I either need to go take a nap or put another 2,000 calories into me. They're designing this stuff to do that. So you got to be better than them. And it's going to start with a damn journal. And if it's not, you're going to fail. How's that? Plain and simple. You're going to write this crap down or you're going to fail. So when you get up in the morning, after you've made your bed, right, and you scrubbed your grill, you're going to get out the journal and you're going to say what you're going to do today in terms of harm reduction. Doesn't have to be sugar. Some people are just trying to back off and start losing weight. Sugar is a really easy way to start that process. But maybe you want to knock something else out. Maybe you're one of those people who every night after dinner, right, eats an amazing amount of food, because I got one for you. And this is an absolute fact. Just as insidious as what we eat very often can be when we eat. Yeah. What I mean by that is a Big Mac, fries, and a Coke, probably not the healthiest thing in the world for you, but probably not that big a deal unless you eat it every single night, 30 minutes before you go to sleep. Okay. That's not going to have the same effects. Make sense to you? Okay. That kind of harm reduction is pretty damn simple too. Okay. I'm not going to eat after. Read any science anywhere about eating before you go to bed. It's not a great idea. It's not a great idea. There's nobody out there going, no, Tommy's wrong. You want to crush a 3-course meal and then go lay down for the night. That's how you want to fuel yourself. I promise they're not out there arguing that. Oh, Mo Love, I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. I hope your arthritis gets better. That's I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I get it pretty bad, actually. I'm sorry to hear that. Hey, Becky. Glad you're here. I am glad that you are here. So in the morning, right? What are you going to knock off? When are you going to stop eating? If you do not put parameters down of what you're going to do, if you're one of those people who's just going to haphazardly go about your day and continue, if we're going to do harm reduction, start with the easiest crap in the world. And the easiest crap in the world is going to be what you drink. That's a great start. And then the other one that's huge is if you don't change anything except when you eat, you're going to start losing a lot of weight. I promise you. That's a great idea. Spike says, in terms of harm reduction, I distract myself with something I really like. I watch funny movies, TV, YouTube, and talk to my friends, tell stupid jokes, and hang out. Anything that has to do with connection. No lie. The opposite of addiction is what? Right? This is becoming damn near accepted. Maybe it wasn't when we first fired up the boat, but enough people talk about this that it really is becoming sort of accepted, right? If the opposite of addiction is connection, right? Then if we're connecting and we're doing it consistently, I promise you, not only does it prevent addiction, but it prevents all of the crap inside that we peel the onion to get to while we're journaling. For real. All of the things that are bothering us. All of the things that are bothering us inside, anything that we're going to do to fix that is going to be done via journaling. I promise you. So if you've been saying this is the year that I want to lose weight, right? Then you're going to have to sit down and you're going to have to put some form of a routine, right? This should not be Very difficult, people. It really shouldn't. At what time are you going to say, I'm not eating anything after this hour, right? Set that in place. Set that in place. Stick to that. If that was all you did for the first month was stick to that, you realize it's a feather in the cap. There you are. You realize it's success. And with success, you can alleviate the guilt of not being successful. And it starts this snowball effect that you absolutely would not believe. Think I'm kidding? We watch this happen all of the time around here. Becky says, so happy to be here. Thank you. Been having extremely hard time. Dave will be gone 2 days, 2 years, and I have been stress eating. I miss him, and it's killing me in so many ways. Becky, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I'll tell you something, though. Getting the idea of coming to a place like this or anywhere else where people get together and meet with each other, right? And get that out, right? Start talking to the people who you love. But the fact that you're here and you're sharing that, the fact that you're saying these things out loud, I promise you is the start of healing. Always. Always. V. McWilliams, good to see you. And the people who are coming here tonight and saying, I really needed to hear this. I have a horrible addiction with sugar. I really needed to hear this. Right now I'm overweight and I'm working on this. I really needed to hear this. When you feel that way, put it into action. Don't hang up and go, you know what? That was pretty cool. Seriously, Tommy said a lot of really good stuff. I should probably do some of that harm reduction stuff. And then don't write anything down, right? Don't change anything in your life. And then in about 4 months, I'm going to do another show on this. This is not the first time that I have brought out a bag this big and said, do you know what that is? That's the amount of sugar that is in a 12-ounce Coca-Cola, right? Not the first time I've done this, people. Probably the third or the fourth time. Look at the size of that Hershey's Kiss, huh? Look at that clavo. Are you kidding me? That is bizarre to me. That is 10 teaspoons of sugar in every Coke. Again, you're drinking 4 of them. You're drinking over 1/4 of a pound of sugar a day. Tommy, I can't understand why I don't lose weight. I subscribe to a fancy salad delivery service. That has helped me have a healthy lunch. Eating later than I should is still a struggle. It's a struggle for a lot of people. And do you know why? This should make a lot of sense if you think about it. Because if we're not feeling good, if we're not feeling comfortable in our own skin, right? When is that going to get the worst? I promise you. It's going to get the worst right before bed. For real. That time right after dinner, we're sitting and we're chilling out on the couch and we start getting that little tinge of, I don't really feel great. And we go get a bag of Doritos, right? And crush it. And inevitably, we get a dopamine hit. We start feeling better about ourselves, and we should. Because in with that dopamine and everything else is oxytocin. And for all intents and purposes, remember that comfort food crap? Okay, well, this is really comfort food. They're reaching out and they're going, all right. You get a hug from that bag of Doritos, or you're getting a hug from that fudge, which tastes like maple. That's a great maple fudge today from Mary. But you understand what I'm getting at? I really hope this is making sense. You don't have to get rowdy, people, but you do have to say, you know what? This is it. I want to live differently. I wrote my first journal entry, and I don't remember how long on this subject after my first lifeboat last week. Well, awesome. So here's what you do, right? Here's what you do to all of you, everybody. If you think sugar is an issue in your life, if you feel like you're carrying around more pounds than you would like to, if you don't move as much as you used to, right? Wow, let's see who we got here. Well, that's just downright unusual. Sorry, I can't. It's not one of my 4, so I don't know that I could take that call right now. So ask yourself, right? Ask yourself, what can I cut out right now? What can I cut out right now? When am I going to say, I am not going to eat after this? If you consistently eat at 9 or 10 o'clock at night, right? Set the bar at 8. We don't have to get down to 6. We're going to eventually, right? Or 5. In a perfect world, it would be really great if you're going to eat all of your meals in, say, 6 hours or 7 hours, right? After 12 hours of you not putting any caloric, no calories go into your body for 12 hours, you're going to start burning fat. You are, right? This is the principle behind intermittent fasting. Now, even if you're not trying to do that to lose weight, there's a lot of really, hey, Mama D, there's a lot of really cool science right now. There's a lot of really, really cool science out there about what happens when we start doing intermittent fasting. Yeah. And we've got these mitochondria, right, in our body. And intermittent fasting tends to kill off the ones that are not in great shape. And there's a whole lot of research that is saying that intermittent fasting really, really healthy for you. And it's probably the way we were designed, because when we were first, walking erect on this round ball, no one was swinging over to the corner, right? No one was swinging over to the corner store to 7-Eleven to go grab some grub. You hunted, and when you got what you were going to get, you ate, and you don't know when the next one is going to be. Oxytocin loop at 2:30 a.m. when I get up to tinkle. Yeah, for real, right? This becomes something that is a addiction, and it is a lifelong addiction, and it's one that if you don't get a handle on, your quality of life is going to go to shit. I'm sorry, it's the truth. The food companies are designing food that has nothing to do with our best interest in mind. They're designing food that makes us want to eat more food, their food, right? Comes screaming back for more of it. And they're paying people huge money to design that to happen. So why not? Why not say, I ain't going to let that happen to me? I'm not going to let that happen to me. You do not have to get out of control, right? But let's say 7 hours. You're going to eat all of your meals within 7 hours. Pick that 7 hours, find out where it is. I do it in 4. Quibs can tell you. Everything I eat within 4 hours. And I don't give a crap. I don't, at no point during the 20 do I sit and think, oh man, I'm so hungry. It doesn't ever happen, ever. It really doesn't. Whether you believe it or not, it just doesn't. Now, I drink a crap load of water throughout the day. I do. I drink a crap load of water throughout the day, because when my stomach is completely filled with water, I don't usually need anything else, right? Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Well, holy hell. So are you with me? Are you following me on the harm reduction train? I'm not asking anybody to get rowdy, because you'll fail. And the failure will make you feel worse about yourself. And if you'll feel worse about yourself, you're going to fall back to what makes you feel comfortable in your own skin, right? Which started this process, which is why so often, right? So often individuals who start this roller coaster crap of dieting end up, after the first year of doing it, 20 or 30% larger, right? Because this foments a larger addiction each time you fail. Each time you fail, the fact that you did makes you want to feel better. And we're going to do that with what we know best. So if we start setting our goals a little bit smaller, a little bit more attainable, and you will find that even setting the bar pretty low, even if we say, all right, we're going to eat everything within 8 hours, and we're just going to replace one of the 12 sodas a day that we drink with water, right? It's not really setting the world on fire, is it? But you set a goal and you did it. It's just like making the bed in the morning. You think that's a big deal? Do you think I make the bed because if I didn't, the world would crash in on itself? If I didn't make my bed, then the first goal of the day, I failed. right? Well, I spent 46 years failing at every single thing I tried. I'm done with that shit. I really am. And I found a recipe, and the recipe starts first thing in the morning, right? I get up at 4 a.m., people, every single day without fail. I don't care whether I flew the night before. Quibs can tell you. I mean, 4 rather. I sit up like, huh? And then I go and I do yoga and I work out and I journal. And by the time the sun's coming up, right, I feel like I kicked the hell out of the planet. I feel like I'm so far ahead of everybody else because I had this checklist and I did it. And that usually means cleaning out the kitty litter, right? All the other things. I've got a whole checklist. I water all the plants. And when it's done, I can feel good about my day. Right? It's pretty simple stuff, people. It really is. It's pretty simple stuff. Or you can keep pounding. Right? Or you can keep pounding sugary beverages and take down 1.5 ounces of sugar with every 12 ounces. But you know what? You're going to find yourself 2 years from now having the exact same conversations that you're having right now. This doesn't fit. I can't stand how I look, right? I hate summertime. I don't like putting on bathing suits. I do not wear this, or this. I will never wear this. Stripes make me look like that. All of these freaking hang-ups, right, that are so much a part of every single day for so many people. How about if we just chill out a little bit, right? Set some really small goals, right? So maybe you're not going to lose 100 pounds in the next 6 weeks. But if you start a healthier lifestyle, in 6 weeks, that'll be a habit. I'm not kidding. 6 weeks is enough to get major habits established, like not drinking anything with sugar in it. And if you can knock that out, that's huge harm reduction. And then if you can say, I'm going to eat everything I eat within 8 hours and nothing else after that, right? I'm going to eat everything that I eat within 8 hours from 9 to 5. After that, I'm going to eat nothing. Then that's a success. You do that. You're going to feel better about yourself. Then you start doing that a little bit of movement, half hour a day, 20 minutes a day, walking. All of these things start adding up and you're going, you know what? This ain't a diet. This ain't a diet. This is a lifestyle, right? It's not a diet. Diets fail. It's the word die with a typo after it. Diets do not work. This is a change in lifestyle. And the next thing you know, right, you're a successful cat. Take that 8 hours, knock it down to 7, knock it down to 6, knock it down to 5, right? And when you get to 4, I promise you the weight will fall off of you. It will. That was my routine when I was locked up. And I was 287 when I started. And I am under 187 now. Yeah, carry on. Don't start dieting. Change your freaking lifestyle. Change your lifestyle. You know? Start doing some basic things. You don't have to be good at them, right? You don't have to be good at any of this stuff. You could suck at journaling. You could suck at all of this. But you're starting out with this plan of being a better person, right? Being a happier version of you. And for a lot of people, that means that diet soda is worse. Lily, we talked about this. It absolutely is. Because of how sweet the stuff is, and our brain already associates sweet with getting dopamines and all that. We just get way more of them, makes it way more addicting. There's a lot of science to back that up. There really is. It's bad stuff. But if we start knocking out this harm reduction thing and start feeling better about ourselves, right? It's amazing how many places in life that this will go out into, right? If this is an important thing for you, ask yourself, the last time I tried to lose weight, did I get up every morning and make my bed? Did I? Well, no, it doesn't have anything to do with losing weight. Of course it does. Of course it does. Your first shot at doing something right in the morning and you don't. What makes you think anything else is going to go right? Get up, make your bed, especially if you didn't do it before, right? Especially if you didn't do it before. Did you journal when you were dieting last time every day? No. Okay. Well, journal. And last time you had some radical diet, right? You were only going to eat meat, or you weren't going to eat any meat, right? Or you were going to drink this crazy stuff that they found in some island, right? Which is bitter as hell, but going to make you lose weight. No, none of those things. I promise you're not going to be able to sustain that. You're not going to be able to sustain that. You're going to be friggin' miserable. Is what you're going to be. Yeah. Miss Dragon says potato chips taste gross to me now. The only time I can do them is in the mountains because I know I need the extra potassium. You know, it's funny how fast things that you really, really cared for. I was an unbelievable drinker of root beer for a long time. I was on like I got into it. I like different brands. I was very into it, especially like the small batch, like the artisan stuff. There's some really, really great stuff out there. And I got super, super into it, right? Loved it. But I hadn't had one in 20 years or so. And I tasted it and I was like, you know what? I remember why I love this. This is so good. It really is. It was like amazing. And I drank half of it, right? And with half of it in me, my body felt like it was rejecting an organ transplant. I'm not kidding you. I was sitting there in the seat going, oh my God, like something's wrong. You know, I don't know what it is, but something is really, really wrong with me. This doesn't feel right in any way, shape, or form. You drink milk and strawberry quick lately. My kidneys are whatever. So waiting for a hospital to call to get fluids. I just don't like drinking anything. Becky, you got to keep your fluids up, right? And you know what? I actually was on a kick where I drank milk and strawberry quick for years, but I was addicted to opiates and I would crave sugar really badly. But that was one of my go-to beverages. Really like strawberry quick. Let me do this again because I am blind as a bat. I'm so glad you made this live, Tommy. The chat is awesome too. It really is it not? Shauna, this is about the kindest group of people you are ever going to come across. For real. Endorphin ruse. Endorphin ruse. Exactly. Prayers for everybody here tonight. Thank you, Mary. Carry on says, I made homemade root beer once. The only problem was it was a little over processed and the bottles started exploding in the boxes that they were stored in. Hilarious, really. You know what? I will tell you a funny story. There was a guy when I was in FCI Phoenix, I ran a poker table, right? So you have to keep the book with all, how much everybody owes, and you have to have the chips, the poker chips, and it's actually it's damn near a full-time job. It really is. But I ended up running a poker table there, and I had a friend who said, "Hey, on Friday, I'm going to have some wine." All right, this is about Monday or Tuesday, and he goes, "On Friday, I'm going to have some wine, and I'm going to bring it to the poker table. And if you can get someone to deal, meaning I wouldn't have to work, he's like, you can get drunk with us." And at this point, I was still drinking. I wasn't sober at this point in my career at all, right? I mean, I was still partying. I still drink now, but I was off in the weeds then. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. I said, where are you buying it? He goes, oh, I'm making it. I said, in this unit? I said, man, the cops are on it in this unit. He goes, yeah. I go, where do you got it stashed? There's about 5 places you can stash stuff in prison, and it's always in the ceiling, right? It's always in places where you can stash it. He goes, my locker. And I'm like, you got a bag of wine in your locker? And he's like, yeah. Now, they expand, right? And they expand and they expand and they expand. Well, the one he had was from those big sleeves that milk comes in, right? They have a little nipple on the end and you put them in. Super thick polyurethane stuff. And he had his bag in there. It blew the locker out. I mean, it literally blew the locker out. This thing exploded, and it sounded like somebody lit off a stick of dynamite inside a trash can. It was just the loudest, nastiest, most disgusting sound, and it blew up, right? The bag and the wine and everything went everywhere. Like it was one of those things where as soon as I started to walk around the corner, I looked at dude and said, it's been really nice knowing you, dude. Hopefully the next prison that you get to works out. He's like, what? I'm like, dude, you're gone. You can't clean this up. There's no way you're cleaning this up. There's stinky wine everywhere with fruit and all that. And the locker literally blew the thing out, right? Like the door wouldn't even be able to close. Funniest crap you ever saw. I always got a kick out of anything that explodes. Really gives me a kick. I just lost 65 pounds in 9 months, taking care of my hubs. I can't afford. I'm not sure. Baby steps on the sugar. Well, baby steps on the sugar is a great idea. It really is. My kidneys are what are suffering. I have tried water with lemon and just different things. I don't care. I don't have the time. I don't know what that is. I don't have the time. Just struggling to move on from Dave finding a dead fiance. Fucked up. Yeah. Well, I'm really sorry, Becky. You know what, Becky? That is about as ugly. That's about as ugly a 5% as you're ever going to get. Ain't no question. When we talk about the fact that what happens to you in life is 5%, there's nothing you can do about it. That's just what happens. And then 95% of it is how you react and what you do. And you know what? No one can judge you. No one can judge you for how you're reacting or what you're going through. They can't. They've never walked a mile in your shoes. They cannot imagine. And if they have anything on the ball, they're thinking, you know what? Yeah, it's horrific. It really is. Every single time I find myself talking to somebody who just lost someone, I feel like an epic douchebag. Because the truth of the matter is, my job is to tell you to get up and dust yourself off and move forward, right? It's a really difficult thing to say to somebody that's just lost a loved one. And I say this a lot, and I know I'm probably not making friends. In fact, I get ugly emails from people all the time after I do this. But if it were me, I would live my life in such a way where every single minute I would be sucking as much joy and as much love as I could out of life after something as horrific like that happening to me. And I do happen to very seriously believe that when people leave, they don't leave, if you know what I mean. I don't believe that life ends with death. I don't. Now, whatever you believe, that's completely up to you. But because of what I believe, if I lose somebody near and dear to me, and I've lost a dozen or so just since I started the lifeboat. People very well known on the lifeboat who passed away, but I'm taking them with me. I mean, literally, I'm taking them with me. I'm going to live a life that if they can see, they're going to be stoked. They're going to be happy with what I'm doing. And I think that's everybody deals with it differently. And there isn't a right way, I promise you. Hot sauce packets, 10 of them. Thank you, Carry On. I really appreciate you. A lot of people turning green. Green is a great color. Carry on my wayward son. You're right. No one is promised tomorrow. Here's the thing. That doesn't mean that I'm making light of someone passing away. It's the most horrific thing in the entire world. It really is. But I can't tell you the number of times where I'll watch someone who loses a brother or loses a significant other or whatever the case may be. And because of how much they loved this person, they're going to spend the next 20 years in a bottle. Because of how much they loved this person, they're going to spend the next 2 or 3 decades sticking needles in their arms. When you say it out loud, it sounds friggin' ridiculous, doesn't it? For real. It sounds super stupid when you say it out loud. West Coast Fancy Nancy, good to see you. Ma, how are you? But I'm not joking. It's the kind of thing I did. It's the kind of thing I did. You know, I lost my family, and I continued to stick needles in my arms for 15 years after that. Wasn't getting me my family back, okay? But I loved them so much that I needed to get wasted every day. For that reason, sometimes I come off as maybe not as nice as I should be. But you know what? We really got to move forward and live our best life. We really do. It's like dialectic behavioral training. There are people on the lifeboat. There are people on the lifeboat with end-of-life diagnoses. They're not going to be here at this time next year. Not under the best of circumstances. Not with the wind at their back. They're not going to be here this time next year. But they're going to have to get up tomorrow morning and clean the kitty litter. Right? And amazingly, they still come and watch the lifeboat. Right? Because they want to live the best life that they can. They want to live the best life that they can for the remainder of the time that they got, eh? I don't know. It's probably me. All right, peeps. All righty, people. I'm gonna close this thing down. I got a couple of things I gotta take care of. You know what this is, don't you? People, I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and this right here, that's a cat in a basket. All right? We'll see you guys on the next one. Between now and then, reach out and try to save somebody. Eh?